When the call went out for recipes, the folks at the Maine Coast Fishermen's Association got a huge response. They've spent the last year or so putting those favorite dishes into a new cookbook they're calling Catch.
The book is a labor of love, a collection that includes both tried and true family recipes, as well as some dishes from folks you might recognize.
The Maine Coast Fishermen's Association is all about keeping an industry that's so important to our state alive, growing and thriving, and also introducing a new generation of fishermen to this lifestyle, to this way of living, to this work, if you will.
Our mission is to restore the fisheries in the Gulf of Maine and sustain Maine's fishing communities for future generations.
Tell me a little bit about when the idea for this cookbook got going.
So the idea for the cookbook got going probably about 18 months ago, right at the beginning of the pandemic. Rebecca Spear, a fellow fisherman's wife, and I wanted to recreate some of the old cookbooks that exist that fishermen's wives associations had done in the past. And, we collected a lot of recipes, but like with a lot of things in the past 18 months, things got a little bit bumpy and the timing wasn't right. Maine Coast Fishermen's Association kind of took over the project and we worked with Chris Cass to keep building out the recipes. We've worked with Penmore Printing to do the printing of the cookbook. So this has really been a grassroots labor of love with its ups and downs, but we're really excited about the production of it.
The most exciting thing about this project to me was that all of the recipes in Catch are crowdsourced. Just put out messages on LinkedIn, put on messages on Facebook, emailed friends, and we got hundreds, over 144 pages of recipes that,
Wow.
people have submitted.
When you say crowdsource, I love that. You sort of put the call out, you threw out the big net and you got a lot of response, but it's regular folks as well as some names we might recognize. Is that right?
Exactly. So we have, the owners of the Topside Inn, for example, they sent in some recipes. David Turin at David's Restaurant sent in a fabulous recipe. Dana Moose, who has a lobster cookbook, she sent in one of her recipes.
We really tried to be intentional about putting the recipes in there that, like you said, they're people's tried and true recipes. You're not going to open the cookbook and read a recipe and go, yeah, I'm not making that. Or like, I don't have that ingredient,
Right.
They're really, and even with the photos that we did with Mark Rockwood and Stacey Spillman did the food styling, we were very intentional about like, that's not how you would do it at home. You're not going to put like parsley and sprigs and, make it super precious. You're going to put it on a baking sheet that's got a little, looks like it's been used, and you're going to serve it with a spatula and you're going to put it on the table and everybody's going to dig in. That's how we eat fish. And I think that's, again, this, what's really special about this cookbook is there are a lot of wonderful seafood cookbooks out there, but, we really wanted this one to be for the home cook that just wants to eat a little bit more fish and eat especially Maine seafood. So again, we're really excited for people to sort of see that, that home style seafood recipe kind of thing.
This has probably been one of the most gratifying, soul satisfying projects I've been able to work on, because it really got me to think more about fishing in Maine, the fishermen in Maine, and what it is they do, how they do it, and why what they do is so important to the fabric of what makes Maine such a special and wonderful place.
The proceeds from the cookbook are going to benefit specifically two programs at the Maine Coast Fishermen's Association. So Fishermen Feeding Mainers, which works right with fishermen to help source their products and work with local processors and get the fish into food banks in the Maine school system. And then we're also using some of the money to support our Fisherman Wellness Program, which is to advocate and create more resources around mental health and wellness, specifically for commercial fishermen. Hopefully it's the start of the, being able to do a little bit more of this kind of thing in the future and sharing more of Mainer's awesome seafood recipes.
Now, you can pre-order the book through the Maine Coast Fishermen's Association website, and some copies will be available at local bookstores, but call ahead if you're hoping to buy a copy. They are hopeful that they'll be able to ship copies in time for Christmas, but they cannot guarantee it at the moment. We'll include a link to the Maine Coast Fishermen's Association in the 207 section of our website and app.